All right. Welcome back to another episode of the Real Estate Investing Club. We are slowly but surely recovering from Thanksgiving. That turkey is still sitting in my stomach, but we're getting the energy back because we got Christmas ahead of us. And today's going to be a good day because we got Sridhar Sannidhi with us on the podcast. Sridhar has done over 3,700 units in 15 multifamily complexes in Texas and Tennessee. Through syndications, he's developing 636 multifamily units. So this man has experience. He has a lot to share with us, I'm sure. Sridhar, thank you very much for hopping on the show.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Good morning, everyone.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. Hey, man, I told you before we got on here, we like to start with stories. So why don't you take us back to the beginning of this of your story? How'd you get started in real estate?
Sure. So basically, I'm from India. I'm an IT professional. I came to this country in 95. It's almost 28 years, I would say. So I was in Wall Street, worked there for 18 years, and then relocated to Dallas 10 years back. When I was in Wall Street, I always had the dream of starting my own IT company or some other venture. But I couldn't do it because, Wall Street is a lengthy day, work day. So hardly we'll find any time to do it on anything. Still, I tried a couple of ventures. I couldn't do it. So that one was in my brain that I had to do something. So after relocating to Dallas 10 years back, that came to my mind. So I should do something. So I initially looked into starting another IT company here. But every time I had the same challenge. Partners are not committed as I am committed. So we had to abandon the process in the middle. So then I thought maybe if I solve my problem, main problem would be money to our initial time, right? So if I solve that problem, I can start my own IT venture. So if for getting that money issue, right, cash flow issue, I thought I should look for some passive income, some from somewhere. So initially, I thought I can buy single family and apartments and all that and build an income stream. To my surprise, I tried for one and a half year. I could not find I could not buy a single property because the competition was so high. I was spending
Dallas,
so much time. Either my offer was just missed by $5,000 or $10,000 sometime. And then again, the process started. So I got frustrated and I said, I should not look for small. I should go for big. So then I started looking into commercial real estate. Initially, I thought hotels, motels would be the best bet. And I started attending multiple real estate events. In one of the events, I bumped into this multifamily syndication seminar. I got attracted to that one because it seems to be very meaningful and reasonable. So immediately after that, I went to Bigger Pockets and searched on it and see if there is anything. Then immediately invested in a couple of deals through that Bigger Pocket members who have been sponsoring. So I got my first check. Then I got very happy and said, "Oh, this looks like it's working.
Let me go full time and just work."
Yeah, let me go and be active member rather than passive member, because if I want to grow fast, the active membership is better. So then I started looking into active general partnership. So I met a friend there, my first partner from one of those real estate events, and we formed up a team. My friend and that other partner and myself, three together, we bought our first property, 96 units.
Oh, nice.
In Wichita Falls, Texas. Is a heavy lift. Definitely there were some things went wrong, but we were able to manage. Yeah, we were able to manage and then maintain the property.
Very cool, man. So it sounds like you got into real estate kind of with a goal to do something completely different. You were like, I'll get into real estate because I really want to make an IT business. But it turns out real estate was the ticket. That was the way that you ended up going.
Yep.
Yeah.
So now I feel I should keep the real estate as main business.
Yeah. That was my next question is, have you ever thought about going back to IT?
uh,
Not now, huh?
no, not now. So even now I'm full time. So
Yeah.
I may that passion would be there because I'm a IT professional. I was in IT for a very long period of time. So that itch will come back once in a
Yeah.
while. I
Yeah.
should do something type
Makes
of thing.
sense.
So I may, yeah,
Yeah, I love your story. I mean, you were working the 9 to 5, which so many, I used to be in work as a management consultant in IT. I worked in tech up here in Seattle, and so so many of us we're in that 9 to 5, and we're just we don't see the end of the tunnel, and we're like, we need to find a way out of this. We need to start a business and get find that road that'll lead us to the freedom that we're looking for. Real estate works for everybody out there. It doesn't matter what background you have, you can get into real estate and reach your goals in it. That's the route you took. So that first 96 unit deal, you did that with your partner that you met at a real estate event, right?
yes, that's correct.
Very cool. How did you guys find it, and what did each of you guys bring to the table when you created the partnership?
So that other partner, he was doing smaller multifamily purchases by himself, like 24 unit, 30 unit type of thing. He had an IT company at that time. So he was able to buy smaller property by himself, and the prices were not that high also at that time. So it was doable. But he wanted to scale up. So that's when he liked the idea of partnering and then started buying bigger one. So he would help us in acquiring the property, and we being the new, myself and my friend being the new, we will raise the funds. That was the
Okay.
agreement, and then
Okay.
we will help in asset management and other activities while learning the whole process and all.
Very cool.
So that's how we started, and then between me and my friend, we raised around 95% of the funds for the
Okay.
first deal. Yeah.
Nice. And I'm assuming, being in IT, you had plenty of people in your network who had
Yep.
disposable income. Did you raise it through going, networking outside of your immediate circle for that first deal, or was it all raised, in your friends that you already knew?
It's I was not sure whether people would invest with me. That was my first thing, so I had to think through a lot.
Yeah. It's
I have
scary to
a
ask
habit
people.
of
Yeah.
yeah, I have a habit of connecting with a lot of friends and then keeping in touch with them
Ah, okay.
and getting to know what they do and all.
Mm-hmm.
So at that time, I had 250 or so contacts in my phone, and I went through one by one, and I saw whom should I reach out to for this first deal. So and out of 250, I shortlisted 20 people,
Mm-hmm.
and I proposed this idea, and I told him that, hey, I want to be an active syndicator. Will you be interested? So to my surprise, all 20 said yes.
All 20. Wow,
Yeah.
that's great.
So we were ecstatic at that time when they said yes, and then they sent the money. So it was oversubscribed in the first deal. Uh,
Very cool.
uh,
Yeah,
it was not that difficult.
presenting a deal to somebody and taking their money and investing it, that is, it's a scary thing having to reach out, especially when you haven't done it before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's can be intimidating and can be scary, but once you get
Yeah.
that through it that first time and you have a track record of success behind you, it's a
Yeah.
little bit less easier or less scary once you get past that first one.
Yeah.
So after that 96 units, what did we say at the beginning? You've done 3,700 units, so you've definitely
Yeah.
scaled since that first deal. What
Yeah,
happened after that first deal?
in 5 years, I scaled up to 3,700 units as a general partner, and as a passive, I think 11,600 plus units.
That's insane. So
Yeah.
I mean, take us through the career arc from that first 96 unit. How did
Yeah.
you go about getting to the 3,700 units?
Yeah, so immediately after that closing a first deal, we got very excited, and we were very confident that, hey, when I called 20 people, all 20 said yes. Even if I go to another party, maybe 50% of them will say yes. Let's continue this trend as long as we can raise the money.
I'm a rock
So,
star.
yeah, so immediately we saw a 200 unit property, and then we went for that like that. First year alone, we closed 4 deals.
Oh wow, that's really great.
Yeah.
All in the Dallas area.
All in Dallas area. So it was almost like 1,000 units we reached in 1 year. So,
Wow, that's great. That's a trajectory that you don't often hear, but when you do, that's great to hear. What give me the time frame? What year was this that you guys were doing this?
this is starting of 2019.
Oh, so this is just when the hockey stick was just going right up.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
So 2019, and then the following year also we did. Even despite COVID, we were able to close few deals, and then
Very cool.
continued that trend even last year. Even now, this year also we closed few deals. So
Nice. Have you taken anything full cycle? Have you sold that first
three
96?
deals we went full cycle, so we exceeded the expected average rate of return.
Very
So
cool. Nice. Well, congratulations on that. I love to hear success stories. I'm sure, it looks like you're in development now. At
yep.
what point why choose development now that you already have this, this formula that you're using for buying established properties? I'm sure you're rehabbing them. Why did you decide to go down the development path?
So when I spoke to investors, they gave different perspectives. Like each one has different priorities in life.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the people in my friend circle, they're mostly working in IT field, and they have decent income, so they are not worried about the cash flow on a monthly basis or quarterly basis. They wanted a net worth bump. So at
Okay.
that point, I thought I should look into something that can give them real faster pace of net worth growth. And second thing is competition was high when the market was so hard.
Mm.
So it's difficult to get the deals too. So and people are paying insane prices to the properties. They don't deserve it. So that made me think through what else can be done. So I got the opportunity to uh, lead one deal for construction. So that was my first leap into construction, and then I started liking it, and
Okay.
immediately I started signing up for construction deals. At the moment, I am into uh, 4 construction deals, and then
Wow. That's
several
crazy.
in pipeline. So
So do you prefer new construction over existing, or is it just kind of like a new thing that you're really into for now? Yeah.
and I prefer new construction to existing.
Is that because you can underwrite it a little bit easier?
You have a lot of room for margin of error. So even
Oh,
if you
okay.
do some mistake, then you have enough bandwidth that the deal can absorb, and then still you will come victorious. Whereas on existing deals, even 1 or 2 parameters you go wrong, then you will be under stress. So and not only that, the economic conditions, right? Usually the new deals we build in a good neighborhoods, they are less challenged in economic situations
Yeah.
compared to the existing ones you will see higher delinquencies and rental growth challenges, etc. So I thought I should put 50-50 emphasis at the moment, 50% on existing and 50% new construction.
Hmm.
Eventually I may go like 75 new construction and 25 existing.
Yeah. Yeah, I do a lot of self storage and mobile home RV parks, and somebody that I know in my circle, he went full time into new construction for self storage just because exactly what you just said. You get better returns, the margin of error is a lot lower or a lot higher, and so. But whenever I've never done new construction myself, I always buy existing. But
Yeah.
whenever I think of it, the problem that I run into in my mind is that you're having to eat these costs for so long because the construction cycle can be up to a couple of years long
Yep.
before it's completed. So what is the downside of new construction?
Um, Obviously, the weather can play a role that may trigger delays, and also if we don't have a right general contractor,
Mm,
then that can create another stress point
yeah.
you need to navigate through. And if we have a proper professional construction manager on site and make sure that things are going well, then that's a good. and easy way, because in a construction project, typically we don't do distributions, right? So less stress from the investors too.
Yeah.
So
Makes sense.
always struggling to fill the numbers, and yeah, you may have risks on financing. If we have variable interest rate in construction deal, that also will be susceptible, but that is in the grand scheme of things, that's very small, I would say. It's not a showstopper. Like even if the interest rate goes up by 2-3 percentage points, it's not a showstopper.
Yeah.
Whereas in the existing properties, if it goes up by 2-3%, then the whole thing gets derailed.
Yeah. Then you get screwed.
Yeah.
Nice. Right on. Well, I took a peek at the clock. It looks like we have run it down, so it's time to jump into the quick question round. Are you ready?
Yeah, ready. Yep.
Let's do it. First question is about education. It can be any form of education, books, movies, conferences, whatever. I just need two recommendations. One of them, general life wisdom, and then one for real estate.
Yeah. So real estate wise, like many people say that rich dad, poor dad. So
Rich
I
dad,
also
poor
read
dad.
that. Yeah, I strongly suggest that one for beginners. For people who want to be more analytical, for them, Think and Grow Rich. That one I would suggest. But for normal people who doesn't read that many books, for them, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I would say. Um, Outside that, I would say, and this other books I would read is like um, 4 hours a week. I forgot that.
4 hour work week.
Yeah, for that one I
Jim Ferriss,
suggest.
yeah.
Yeah, so I think it just basically you change your mindset. So that
I
one.
I bought that book, I don't know how many years ago. I actually have two copies of that book and I still haven't read it. I gotta
Yeah.
get I gotta get on it. One of
Yeah,
these
so
days I'll
that
have to
one I
read it.
would suggest, and also I I would encourage people to listen to the podcast.
Hmm.
So for a few reasons, most of the time the books are written in a one particular pattern, but in podcast, like people would ask different questions, right? And then you'll get the answer from first-hand experience, right?
Yep.
So those are more valuable in my opinion.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's perfect timing because we're on a podcast. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to move us on to the next question. This is for your younger self. So let's
Yep.
go back to the Sridhar, who was just getting into the U.S. back in 1995. Go to him, look
Mhm.
him in the eye, give him one piece of advice moving forward.
So one thing I would definitely say is that setting up the mindset I did not do at that time. I was very fearful. Like I was more focused on W-2 jobs.
Mm,
Risk taking was like no for me at that time. But had I thought through and mitigated the risk and did this entrepreneurship long time back, I would have been in a different situation. So
yep.
yeah,
Yeah. I asked this everybody that comes on the podcast. I asked that question, and a lot of them say that they wish they got started earlier. I'm
yep,
gonna say that your advice falls into the same bucket.
yep,
If you're out there, you're thinking about getting started, you're thinking about doing real estate, just do it. Just pull the trigger.
yep,
Go buy yourself a property. Go. Don't focus too much on networking, on education. Get
yep,
what you need, and then get a deal done. You
yep.
will not regret it. All right. Next question is about the US. It's a big place, a lot of opportunity out there. Give me the single metro you're most excited about investing in today.
Dallas right
Dallas,
now,
Texas.
because I live in Dallas, and also it has been consistently growing for
Mm-hmm.
past 10 years, and it still has the path to grow.
Yeah.
So I'm a little biased over Dallas, but there are other cities which are good too. I'm not denying that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, Dallas Fort Worth. It's a solid one. I have a self storage facility out there in Dallas. I've been looking for more, but there just aren't any good deals out there right now.
Yeah.
So right on. Good metro leads us to the next question. This is about your business. The first positions we hire form the foundation of our business. So, what were the first positions for you? And if you did it again today, would you do it differently in terms of the order in which you hired those positions?
Yeah, definitely. As we grow we need to think through and then hire people, right people. Um, One of the challenge was I was building the portfolio while I'm working full-time W2 job. Only this year I'm completely into commercial real estate. Until then, I was doing both,
Wow, geez,
which is
a
another
lot of work.
challenging task. Yeah. So to work with employees, if I'm in the office, I cannot work with them. So that is why I started with the virtual staff.
Mm,
So I did wrote functions like whom need to be hired for what function and all. So instead of going one function at a time, then I decided to hire 10 at the same time.
oh wow, geez.
So, so that way, it would be chaotic in the beginning, but it will cover everything, right?
Yeah.
So now I have two people who does the underwriting, okay, two
Okay.
people who does asset management for
Okay.
back office operations, two
Hmm.
people who do social media marketing. Like that, I have functions defined for them, and they do uh, on a daily basis. I have a stand-up call with all of them, so it goes smooth. Initially, as I said, right, if you never managed a virtual staff of 10 people, suddenly it is something challenging, a bit challenging. It took a few months to understand the working style and expectations and all that. So after that, things are going smoothly.
Yeah, I think the biggest my virtual team has gotten up to has been five. And that was over time. Like we've hired one, a couple months later, we'd hire another. Hiring 10 at once, that would just be that would be that'd be intense.
Yeah,
But I mean it worked out for you, so so there's no
yeah,
complaints there. All
yeah.
right, next question is about finding deals. It all starts with getting in contact with the seller and making that offer. So, what is your favorite way to find good deals?
So initially, we started downloading from all these websites, all from all the real estate brokers, and slowly we started getting the calls from those brokers, and we established the relationship in that fashion because they realized that we are downloading a lot of deals, and also whenever we close a deal, we are putting it in the social media, so they are tracking us, so they know that yeah, this is not somebody who simply downloads the deal, but they're serious type of
Yeah.
thing. And we don't download the deals that are not important to us, like for example, if there is a 20 unit deal or 30 unit deal, we don't download them. We have the criteria, so only if it meets that criteria, then only we download. So
Gotcha.
that way we are focused on which property we are interested in.
Very cool. So it sounds like you that's brokers. You do networking, reaching out through
Yep.
brokers, and then just getting deals that are on market
Yes.
that meet your criteria.
Yeah, slowly we started getting off market. After, initially it was mostly on market. After that it is mostly off market.
Gotcha. Cool. Cool. All right. Next question is about a lesson learned. Not every deal that we get into goes the way that we expect. In fact, most deals have a little bit of hair on them. Something comes out of left field and hits you in the face. So, what is one deal that kind of went sideways, and what was the lesson that you learned from it?
Yeah, that's good. First couple of deals, I was able to raise more than what I needed. So I was overexcited. By third deal, I thought that, okay, whatever is needed, I can raise it. I was very happy that the moment I saw that the amount that I need to raise has been fulfilled in the third deal, but the money did not come in.
Mm,
So suddenly, it so happened that a lot of people went on vacations out of country type of thing,
mm,
and the close time has come so close. Right, I had only 1 week, and
oof.
suddenly $500,000 disappeared from my raise pool because they were out of country or some vacation or something. I cannot reach out to them, and I cannot force them to send the money just like that
Oh
when they are in
man.
vacation. And because I don't force people on investment, so then I had to sit and think through and then come up with a game plan to fulfill that $500,000 in a week.
How'd you do it? I actually ran into that issue just or a couple weeks ago, but
Yeah.
I was luckily able to get an extension from the seller. But I had a week to raise almost $1 million, 900,000. I was shitting my pants. I was like, I have no idea how I'm gonna do this. So how'd you do it?
Yeah, for $500,000, then what I did is like basically reviewed my contacts again, the same thing. But this time around, the people who initially showed interest but they never invested in, because there some of them will be on the wall, right, saying that whether I should go for it or don't go for it. So then I called them and had a one-on-one call for half an hour with each of them.
Oh, wow.
So, and to explain that it's not that scary. And then I told them that how much I'm investing in each deal and what my risk amount is. And after doing like, I think 7, 8 calls, I got my money. So
There you go. That's how it's done.
yeah, but I had to put extra effort for that one. And then that's the first kind of unplanned one. After that, usually I look for more than what I need. So the number of investors wise, so
Yeah.
that I get the money quickly and then close my part.
Yeah. Yeah. Raising money is actually harder than I thought it was going to be.
Yep. Yep.
There's a lot of conversations that you got to have. But yeah, I mean, it sounds like you made it that 1 week you hit your timeline. So that's
Yep.
good to hear. And that brings us to the last question. This is for the listeners. I'm sure people want to reach out, get in contact with you. What is the best way for people to reach out?
Yeah, they can reached out to me at Sridhar at growwealth2retire.com or through my website www.growwealth numeral 2 retire.com. Growwealth2retire.com.
Perfect. Grow Wealth 2, the number 2, retire.com. I will put that link in the show notes. So if y'all want to reach out, just click the little more in the description. It'll pull down that full description. In there, you can find Sridhar's link. All right. Well, hey, it was great to meet you. Thank you very much for hopping on the show.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me on the show.
Absolutely. For everybody who's here with us today, thank you guys for showing up. You are the reason we do this. So if you guys have any questions whatsoever, reach out to me, Gabe at therealestateinvestingclub.com. If you guys want to support the show, all we ask, give us a like, subscribe, share, all that jazz. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great week. Keep rocking real estate, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.